Good morning, good morning. It's Melody Reels here at the Iowa Quilt Museum in Winterset, Iowa. 9:02, I think, 9:03. It's becoming a habit, apparently. I apologize. Hello, welcome to the Iowa Quilt Museum here in Winterset, Iowa. Again, I'm Melody Reels, and I'm going to play with my hair for a second. We have our current exhibit is Tiny Pieces, Fast Visions. We're going to go over 4 quilts today, 2 quilt artists. We're kind of wrapping up. I have one more video after this, and this all leaves. So before we get to that, though, just real quick, just some quick announcements. Do I have any? I have Share Your Stash sale. I'll take all your donations of any kind of craft items you'd like to donate. Thank you to everybody that has been donating. We have yarn, we have books, we have cookbooks, we have patterns, we have thread, we have material, we have, we're gonna have all kinds of stuff. I'll take your knitting and crochet needles. I will take your scrapbooking, stamping. I'll take it, anything. And then I'll take those donations. And then November 8th, we have a big sale. It's at a local church here in town, and I'll get more information on that as we get closer to that. But we sell all that, and all of that goes to the museum and helps us keep the doors open. Oh, barn quilting classes were last weekend. We had a great turnout. I'm sorry it was late in getting some of those pictures up of some of the barn quilts that were made, but it sounded like everybody had a great time. Debbie Simpson is a great instructor. I even asked her if she was a teacher, and she said no. And I was like, she should have been a teacher. She's really great. She's a teacher. She's teaching people how to do a barn quilt. And anyway, we have 2 more classes, actually 4 more classes coming up in the fall in September and October, and you can check those out on our website, iowaquiltmuseum.org, and go to shop, and that'll be on there. And you can look at the dates and see if those would work for you. We have a 3-part speaker series coming in the winter with Diane L. Murtha, and you can sign up for the individual class, or you can sign up for all 3, and I will have that coming out soon as well. That is online to purchase now. I just haven't gotten the information out via emails and promotion that way, but that is on there now, and you can look at that and see what those are about. If you're not in Iowa, you wouldn't know, but Bike Ride Across Iowa is this week. And last year it came through our town, so that was kind of fun, but they're up north this year, so I hope they're all having a great time. Okay, to us, to Winterset, to the Iowa Quilt Museum, Tiny Pieces, Fast Visions, Nirja Lorenz. We kind of wrapped up her quilts a couple weeks ago. Last week we wrapped up Irene Roderick's. Irene back there, there's one of Nirja's, one of Irene's. Today we're going to talk about Susan Lapham's and Deb Cashatt's, then wrap up those 2 artists today, and then next week we'll kind of recap everything, and then they're gone. They leave. August 3rd is the last day for Tiny Pieces Fast Vision. Very colorful, very fun, very exciting exhibit. If you get a chance to come here and see it, please do. If you don't, follow them to wherever they're going to be close to you and see it again. Oh shoot, they told me where it was going to be next, and I can't remember. I will make sure to write a note and say in my last video. Coming August 5th will be Mama's Got the Blues. It's antique, indigo, blue, and white quilts, hand quilted. So we are doing a 180 from our quilts we have now. We're going to traditional quilting. So those will be really sweet and fun to talk about. So let's get started. I'm going to flip you around. We're going to talk about Deb's first. Boop, boop. Here we go. This is Deb's Building and the Center. Real quick I just want to read a little bit about Deb and feature her today for this first part. In the midst of the coronavirus shutdown, I started making pieced quilts based on wonky graphic symbols. The rectangular Greek key, and we'll talk about that, and we've talked about it before. You can see it right here, these little swirl things. Those are Greek keys. And circular spirals have been 2 of my favorite patterns since I was a kid. Since the key is much easier to piece, I decided to focus on that design. When I combined the Greek key with other pieced blocks on my design wall, I started to see objects. I call those objects symbographs. Symbographs have helped me develop a language for telling stories in cloth, memories, travels, and even shopping at a big box stores. Make appearances in my symbographic art quilts. I hope they make you smile and inspire you to create your own stories. And you can read more about her on her website, debcashatt.com, Cashatt.com. And you can see more of her work. She talked about big box stores. Let's see, I think it's in the book. Now I'm going to have to go in front of the camera or flip you back around. But she, is it in here? We talked about the Sandoz Mile Long Meadow with the Volkswagen Bug. She's telling you a story about her childhood and being with her grandma. Here's the local big one. Let's see, can you see that? Here's one of her quilts here. That orange and white. But this is on sale. You could get this online at the iowaquiltmuseum.org shop and purchase this. And it's a great book and it has all their work, more than what I have here at the museum. But let's talk about these two in front of us. So Deb's building is the one on the right. The purple one, if that. Deb's building is an ode to my favorite building in Hong Kong, the Center, which comes alive each night as the lights painting the skyline with an ever-changing spectrum of colors. And then on the left is the Center number 2. And it says, each night the Center building and a building in Hong Kong comes alive and with lights dancing their way through the color spectrum. The Greek key pattern and some sparkly metallic thread assist me in translating its beauty in cloth. I just want to point out before we take a closer look, I love how she uses the fabric to the sky relates to the building, because it says that, you know, that the buildings would light up at night, and then it also lit up the sky with those colors. So those colors are, you know, in the back of the buildings as well. But I don't know if we said this before or if I've said this before, but she always adds her name into the building or into her quilts. So let's take a look and see, either pieced in or it's used, or she stitches it in. I don't know if you could, I feel like you can't see the metallic thread. It's like a blue metallic thread in here on the sky, and then we have gold in the building. And so, and as you could see, not only does she use the Greek key in her piecing, but she uses it throughout her quilting as well. I love this solid piece, like these untouched stripes here. Untouched as in not, you know, stitched in. And then more of the lighting up of the, what a fun thread that is. It's so shimmery, but I think you can see that. Look at it next to the blue, with the blue shimmery thread. More of the Greek keys in here. And I think if we come right down here, there's her name that she put in, she stitched in. Again, I wish you can, I'm trying to get an angle so you can see that so the thread sparkles. But all these tiny little, I love just the little hints, like you've got some orange here, you've got this red here. Deb is a storyteller for sure. Not just in her quilts. She's just a natural storyteller. She's so great. Okay, and this is the center, the second one. Building 2, Center 2. What is it? The Center number 2. I love this metallic fabric, and it's just not going to shimmer. You really need to see it in person. It's so beautiful. The piecing up here of the tower. Again, it looks more navy thread here. Again, more of the Greek key. I love this, it looks like windows. These beautiful points with the shimmery thread, and more, this is shimmery blue fabric, a green in here, a metallic orangey gold kind of fabric in there. And can we find her name in here? Oh, Where is it? There it is. Where's her name? How fun to have a name that you can stitch into your quilt. These are right when you walk in, like you turn the corner and you see them, and I love seeing them next to each other too. Just great pieces, very colorful, very vibrant, and very fun. So that wraps up all of our quilts here for Deb. These two, the Hawkeye hoops, the putting on the face, the makeup one, and the nail polish wall, if you remember those. She talked about those during Quilt Festival. And then the Meadow quilt with the Volkswagen bug. Okay, we're gonna go on a road trip. We're gonna go around the corner, and we're gonna look at the last two that I have not featured yet of Susan. So here we go. Ready? Going on a road trip. Hold on, everybody. Don't get sick. We'll just kind of do a little look around. Ooh. We're gonna swing around here. This is Playland number 11. And I don't know if you remember that Playland is she's telling you a story about a theme park at a boardwalk in Rye, New York that her and her brother would go to as teenagers. And so that's what she's telling you about. And so this one here is called Playland number 11. Oh, I didn't give the dimensions or anything of poor Susan's. Okay, of Deb's, but this is Susan Lapham. It's 60 inches high and 40 inches wide. And what she says here is bright light, big tents, exciting acrobats, and cotton candy. I'm taking you to the circus. And I believe the next one is circus related, but let me real quick just what I got off of her website. And you could go to her website as well, susanlapham.com. Lapham is an abstract textile artist who dances between the design wall and the sewing machine. She's inspired by her unusual childhood, crossing 5 continents, learning 3 languages, and managing 4 brothers. Her vibrant, geometric, and exquisitely colored work has been exhibited widely in fine art museums. And then she had a little statement. It says, I am a child deep in a dreamy world of imagination. Within me are the ethereal colors, ornate architecture, and bustling markets of the ancient walled cities where I grew up. I explore the narrow alleyways in Medina and vast sand beaches of the Mediterranean. My work emerges in surreal complexity. Each piece is a memory, a feeling, a moment of time. So again, another great storyteller. I do want to point out, and I think it's pertinent, is that she has a BA in cartography and a master's in survey statistics. And I feel like when you know that about her, and I feel like that's incorporated in her art as well. This is a great piece. It wasn't, right before she came, I had somebody ask me, did she use black batting? And me being a non-quilter yet, I didn't even know that there was such a thing as black batting. And so she came, and yes, very much so. So as we take you off here, actually, I think I'm trying to debate. I might circle you around and show you Playland number 12, and then I'll take you off and we'll explore each quilt a little deeper. But up here in the white, you could see like a gray shadow in the center. That's very intentional on purpose. I believe that her husband, John, also quilted these 2 quilts. So let's turn around, and the other one is Playland number 12. And then I'll take you off the stand and we'll look at it closer at both of these. This is only one of 2 quilts in here that has printed fabric in it. And this is Playland number 12, 60 inches high, 40 inches wide, and pieced by Susan and quilted by her husband, John. I can't wait to see the clowns, acrobats, minstrels, dancers, jugglers, and tightrope walkers. So they're both based on the circus. So now I'm going to take you off, and also this also has black batting in it as well. So I'm going to move that out of the way. We'll look at John's stitching, his quilting on here, and her piecing. Just even, I'm like, this is so subtle, this brown in here, and the purple. But you kind of see that, see how that black batting, you know, is framed in these lighter pieces. And here's some of that printed fabric, which I think is so fitting for a circus, right? Almost kind of makes me think, especially like this one, shoot, you know, remember this flea circus? Like you were supposed to see this, like they were so tiny. And I just think about that when I see that. Clowns juggling. And I believe this is another printed fabric. I have to tell you, it was a big debate about whether it was pieced or printed. But I believe this is printed, these stripes. The only other printed fabric in here is the basketball on Hawkeye hoops from Deb Cashatt. Everything else is solid color into tiny, tiny pieces and patterns. I love you get these little patches of color, just these little subtle, soft pink. Maybe for the dancers, yeah. Maybe the balls are for the clowns and the juggling, or the balls, the polka dot. So this is Playland number 12. And there is bumper cars. And we're gonna come over here to Playland number 11 and take a closer look of this circus quilt. Got some blues, and she has a lot of splash of color in here. Look at this, interesting how she pieced this here. I love how these kind of curve with it too. Take you up here so you can see that black batting coming through. We're putting that together. I mean, just to get those lines to make the boxes is so great. I can't tell you how many people ask me how she did that, and I don't have an answer. She might have told me, and I don't remember. Some splash of blue up in here with the green and the browns, those neutral tones, those natural colors. All right, everybody. Playland number 11. So fun. My walking partner, she saw this and she's like, I want that on my wall. Oh, these are all for sale. These are all for sale, but you could go to their websites and find out the information about that. Wouldn't this be fun? My friend has a mid-century modern home. How fun would that be in there too? I love this blue down here too. What's happening there? What's happening in the circus right there? That's what I want to know. Okay. I'm going to put you back on the stand. You're looking at a boring wall when you could be looking at something fun. Hold on. Okay, well, thank you for joining. That wraps up Deb Cashatt and Susan Lapham and their 6 quilts. Next week, we'll do a run through and just kind of recap on all what is here. Again, the book, you can get it online, and it has all these quilts and others that I don't have here in here as well. We also have, Neersha has some magnets that she has given us to put in the gift shop. That's also online. Deb has note cards and magnets, and Susan has a 4-card set. I didn't get anything from Irene, but those are all in our shop online as well, if you're interested. And you can own a little something of your favorite quilt that you've seen here on our videos. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week with a recap. Just 2 more weeks and this exhibit's gone. I've so enjoyed getting to know these ladies. It's been this exhibit's been a lot of fun, and just really exciting. All right, have a wonderful, dry weekend, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.